Welcome. You are listening to the All My Friends podcast, the Manchester-based dance music and culture, which is a bit yucky, the word culture, but culture show that likes to talk about interesting things happening to, because of, and around you, the listener. I'm really excited to be chatting with today's guest. He's a must follow on Instagram for anyone who likes memes that don't pull any punches, memes that will remind you we're all a bit noncy, really. Memes that dismantle the royal family, memes that think Captain Tom should have done 150 laps. And basically, he runs a meme account for anyone who'd shag Hasbulla. On the show today, we're going to be speaking about the cultural impact and legacy of memes, the space they occupy in British culture, and we'll be discussing how and why they became so pervasive. Hopefully that sentence didn't bore you to tears. The show's going to be a right laugh. It's not a BBC4 documentary. So if you haven't guessed who it is by now, you should have. His name's in the show's title. I'm very pleased to welcome Sam Hammond, aka VomCruise, onto the show. Hello, Sam. Or is it Vom? What would you prefer, Mr. Cruz?
Hi, Liam. Thanks for having me. You can call me whatever you want, to be honest. Don't really care. Captain Dickhead, that'll do.
I think we'll stick with Sam.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
What did you think of your intro, by the way? This is the first time I've ever done one like that, and I sort of feel like I'm introducing you on like a Saturday night variety show. I think it's a bit much, or was it stroke the ego?
I don't know. I don't know what you usually do, but I mean, it's fine by me. Yeah, it's it's a fair sort of introduction to the nonsense that I do.
It is really cool to be speaking with you today, and I didn't want to give like much information about you in the intro because we're going to go into all that now. But before we get into the show proper and start talking about all the weighty stuff I just mentioned, it'd be great to have a little chit chat and hear about like the VomCruise story, how you got started. Where did the account come from and how did it grow? And why, really?
I didn't plan to do it. I just sort of accidentally created a monster. I guess I sort of, similar to anybody else, I got sort of a bit addicted to Instagram and that format. I liked it when I first found it. And I only went onto social media for the first time I was never really on it. I only went on it to start promoting the band I was in. And I realised when our sort of music was dwindling in popularity that I could get attention by posting memes, and sort of share our music that way or build our follower account that way. And that's how it happened, really. And then the band broke up and I think I was addicted to sort of the meme idea or like just making people laugh, I guess. And it was sort of growing. And I just mentioned to the band like, oh, do you mind if I carry on? And then just use the account for something else. So I did that, and I don't think I had the name for a while, and then I got sort of obsessed with Tom Cruise one week for some reason. I got sort of weird obsessions, and then I think that's where VomCruise came from. But yeah, I don't know really. I've taken a few breaks from it and actually been much happier. So I don't know why I just don't delete it. But yeah, it's addictive.
Oh, that's interesting. That's the dark side of running a popular meme account then. Like, what is it? Just the stress of posting and running the account?
It's not running the account. No, it's nothing like that. It's just, I think we'd all be happier if we weren't looking at our phones all the time or on social media. It's like, it's everything else you see on there as well, isn't it? Stuff that I see on there that's just going on in the world really depresses me. So, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's a waste of fucking time at the end of the day. There's not much point doing it. But
I think it's a very good lens to look at our society though as well. I've got a question about it later, so we're jumping well ahead here. But
cool.
It is,
all right.
It is for me. It's very much like a news source. I've had news broken on there before. Prince Philip memes, and then that was the first time I heard he died. And so, yeah, I think you do need to sort of like approach it with caution or just a bit of education. Otherwise, you can end up, as you say, going down a rabbit hole.
I really love Twitter for that. Like I go on I don't post on Twitter very often, but I love it for news, and there's a lot of really funny people on there, so I get a lot of laughs from that. Instagram's becoming more and more just people trying to show us how pretty they are or how good their life is, and it's just getting a bit dull. I suppose memes they keep it a bit funny, but it's getting a bit.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
don't even know what I was saying, mate. Don't worry about it. Carry on.
But I mean, like, yeah, Instagram is quickly going down that TikTok route. And again, I've got a few things about this later, but it's very much like everyone's almost being shoehorned into becoming a meme without even, creative thought behind making it funny.
Yeah.
It's like the platforms are geared towards that. Put a pin in it though, because we're going to the end of the show before we get started.
Okay.
We are primarily a music podcast, and I can't go any further without asking you a bit more about the band and like your musical influences. What did you play? Were you the singer? I was
a singer and a songwriter, and it was. I mean, we noticed from an early sort of point that things going viral could help your band sort of go somewhere, because me and a couple of the guys in the band were just making demos, and I was in Manchester at the time, living in Manchester, and we were making them just for the love of making music, really. We'd sort of spent a long time trying to make it in music and not gotten anywhere, and then we made some demos and we put one online, and we couldn't afford to make a music video, so I just made a music video using some sort of stock footage or it was clips from a film actually, and it went, because of the nature of the song was a really sort of catchy pop song, but also the footage was sort of edited well to meet the song, and it went sort of viral, and that actually got us signed and turned us into a real band. So yeah, I mean, from early on we were like, oh, this is how it's done now. You know what I mean? You get people's attention by doing something funny that they're going to share, or something, that they're going to enjoy and share, because like a song just doesn't cut it for most people anymore. That it's not a quick enough gratification, I think. But yeah, we were called Swiss Lips, and then we signed to Sony, and we had a lot of the standard troubles that bands have signing to major labels, sort of, struggling, having an album put on a shelf, all that bullshit. And then eventually we got 2 albums out that I'm proud of, and, they were good, but it ended sort of not as well as I'd hope, but it was all right. We still were very lucky. We had a lot of good experiences and got to tour and make some good music and stuff like that, which a lot of great bands don't even get that anymore. So, I am grateful for that.
Yeah, and you were based in the Northwest at the time, weren't you? I remember you said on the It's Your Funeral podcast you were working around Blackpool, and you were doing stuff like that. Was that right? Or
no, when I was in that band, I was in Manchester. I lived in Manchester for about 10 years, but I grew up in Lancashire, so I'm from around there anyway. But yeah, I lived in Manchester for a long time, and that's where the band was formed.
Northwest represent. I'm from the Lake District, so a Tory Lancashire.
Oh, nice. Is that considered the Northwest, the Lake District, or is that just the North?
I think it's west of Northeast. So
yeah,
I mean,
I suppose I suppose it's really west, isn't it? It's more west than where I'm from. Do you have a little nugget of Kendal mint cake rather than having a Red Bull?
Do I? Well, I'm from Keswick, and our main export and claim to fame is a pencil factory. So,
mate, I've been to it. I've been to the pencil museum.
I mean, it's shit.
Yeah.
We also had Cars of the Stars back when I was growing up, which had like the Batmobile from like the 1960s.
Oh, I've been there as well. You had a Del Boy's little yellow Robin Reliant as well. Yeah, I've been there as well. Yeah, we used to for some reason used to like go there on holiday. I don't know why. When I was a little kid, we'd go there for like a week, and it was about an hour away from my house and raining. But it is very beautiful.
Yeah, I think I sort of like uncovered its like sort of like beauty, and coming back from uni, I was like, and all my friends were like 18 to 20. We were like, fucking hell, this is actually quite class. Like, we could go home for like a month of the year, and we could do some walking on the 1 month where it's sunny. But yeah, growing up, it was like a small town shithole, and all the lads from Cockermouth would come over and try to fight with us, and that's a real place as well. And it was just
Cockermouth. Yeah. I mean, it was the same where I grew up, and I grew up in a little village called Brinscoll, and it was very sort of violent at times. but yeah, very, very beautiful to go back and visit.
But just one word on Kendal mint cake. If you do have like a little bit, you are probably going to get diabetes. That stuff is like rocket fuel for sugar.
All your teeth will fall out.
Yeah, mate. It's not great. I think it's built for walkers going to mountains. It's not built for everyday consumption, I don't think. Another question I had, because I get a lot of these as well, and like all my friends' account on Instagram is tiny. It's about 600 followers, but I get inundated sometimes with just really weird collaboration requests from people who are completely not suitable to collaborate with, like my brands. I had Avento Watches get in touch to ask me to do like a watch collaboration, and these people had obviously not taken any time to like understand what I do. Really? Just wanted to know, have you had any mad requests from people who are like, I'm obviously not going to sincerely sling Bibles to my followers because just have a look at what I do?
No, I mean, I think nobody wants to be associated with me, and rightly so, because I don't, even when I had my old account and I had, like 50,000 followers, I didn't get any. I got like one or two requests to like promote something on there, and it was always something completely unrelated to what I was doing, so it would look really stupid. And I know it was always, I said, well, how much money are you going to give me? And they were, I'll do anything for some money. And then they would like just say, well, it's all dependent on how many of these gnome-shaped toilet cleaners we sell or something. I'll be like, well, you can get fucked. No one's going to buy them. So yeah, I don't get that. And I know people with accounts with really sort of not low, but like not that many followers who get a lot of requests to promote shit, and no one sends me anything for free, which I'm livid about, and nobody asked me to do anything for them for money, which I'm also angry about. So yeah, if anybody's listening and wants to give me like a tenner just to, I don't know, sell whatever bullshit you're making, then I will do it.
Yeah, I did think about going to this watch brand. I did some research, and they have 1 star on Trustpilot because they are just scammers. But I was like, go and send me a free watch, and I will just do like a naked photo shoot in my living room and just really go to town and just have a bit of a laugh with it. But then it turns out you have to pay for them to send you the watch, and then the watch never arrives. So Avento watches.
And why were you going to get naked? Was that part of the... I was
just like, do you know what? I wanted to sort of do like a send up of, like the Instagram influencer culture where you've just got...
Oh, right.
Just like people all over the country just really just like, pushing themselves up against walls with like the latest from Misguided on. I was like, do you know what? Let's like sort of like subtly send that up while shilling some shit watches.
You could put the watch around your knob and try and sell it that way.
I don't know. I think that's I'll start getting banned then. Like,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Could you also tell us which are your favourite meme accounts? Like, what is the meme account for meme accounters, or where do you go to sort of like, I think inspiration from content's maybe too strong, but where do you go to sort of have a chuckle?
I don't really follow many sort of those big meme accounts. A lot of them they're not really dark enough for my humour, like my sort of tastes. They're always kind of a bit like, the reason they've got millions of followers is because they sort of, lots of people can enjoy them, and they're not that, I don't know, I just don't find them that funny. And also I've done work for a few of them, so I know that actually they're not like just one guy on his phone. There are a bunch of marketing guys in an office, so it kind of takes the fun away when you know that. So, but yeah, I don't post a lot of those like standard memes really. Anyway, I just sort of post videos and photos I find funny and or things that I think I can take the piss out of and write stupid captions, But my favourite account is probably, he's from Manchester, Luke Unabomber. He's just really funny, and he's not like a miserable prick like me. His posts are quite uplifting, and he sort of finds the beauty in the tragedy of life rather than just moaning about it like I do. And I don't know him. He makes me laugh most days. And I like him. There is a meme page I like called MemeTides. I don't know who that is doing that, but I like that. It's because it's quite dark and insane and weird, and it's not a big page, but it's just mad, and I like that.
For anybody listening, links to them meme accounts will be popped in the description. Oh, and of course I forgot. Like and subscribe. You've got to do all that stuff. I hate it. I feel like I'm selling my soul every time I ask them. But please like and subscribe if you like the content. And also, Luke Unabomber, you never got back to me when I asked you to come on the show. Please reconsider now.
I asked him to come on my podcast as well, and he ignored me. So, but yeah, he's a busy man. I think he's like a successful restaurateur. Is that the right word? Yeah, he's not just dicking around on the internet all day like me.
He started with electric chair, so he does a lot with Homo Electric and stuff as well. So he's like a DJ by night, restaurant by day. I think I'll actually be watching him play on Saturday, which is going to be fun if I can.
Oh, nice.
If I can get my vaccine passport sorted out in time, otherwise I won't be able to get in. But I'm going to use that as like a soft.
I'll sell you mine if you want.
How much are you selling it for?
£6. Whatever,
I mean, if you've got a printer, like it's a license to print money, really, isn't it?
How do they check? Are they going to scan them to check if they're real, or cause you could just Photoshop it, surely?
So you need to do a lateral flow test and then send a code into the government, and then it's going to go to my phone. I think you need to use the app, but because I'm between phones at the moment because I broke mine, I have an iPhone 5 which can't download the app, so I'm a bit
retro.
I know, I think it's really fashionable, but I think I'm panicking a bit now because I want to go out and get wrecked on Saturday, and I don't know if I can. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Good luck.
Yeah. I always like to do a little bit of a quick fire questions round as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Can I throw a few at you?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you got a quick list of the latest set of things you've decided are Tory?
The Olympics is pretty Tory. Keir Starmer's definitely a Tory. Pedigree dogs are Tories. People who constantly talk about coffee, just have a fucking Kenko, shut up. Anybody who goes to space is definitely a Tory. Kettle chips, Joe Wicks, 90% of the population of this horrible little nasty island seems to be a Tory. That's about it for now.
Do you know what? Because I've been following them lists, and I mean, you won't be able to see this listening, but this bookshelf behind us is definitely fucking Tory. I did that bust.
Is it?
Fucking, we've got classical civilization. Yeah. I even said, I was like, do I want to position myself this way when I'm talking to Sam? Because...
No, listen. No. Like, having an interest in the world is not Tory. I don't know, like, Priti Patel, so her behaviour is Tory. People, I mean, I've sort of taken on the word Tory just to mean anything that I don't like. So it doesn't really mean anything at all. And I'm just being a dickhead. But yeah, your bookshelf looks lovely, Liam. Don't worry about it.
Thank God for that. I've got some validation for it. Sweet. Shag, marry, avoid. Samson Hampson, the dad from the family, and Wayne Lineker.
Okay.
And why?
Right. I'd marry Wayne because he's the richest and he'll be dead soon. So I'd inherit a lot of cash. He's like, he can't keep just blasting coke at his hotel every weekend when he's like, he must be 60 or something and his head looks like it's about to explode. So yeah, Wayne will be dead soon. So I'll have his money. I'll marry him. Who's the other two? Family dad and Samson.
Hampson.
I'd probably shag the dad from Family because he's got quite a nice, shapely, feminine arse. I'd avoid Samson at all costs because I think he wants to kick my head in. So I'm not going near him.
Real world kick your head in.
Well, I think if he met me, he would. Yeah. So he's had a few words with me. So yeah. To be honest, I only started going for him and for a laugh because he was attacking like women and trans women, people who were already having a shit time and who were vulnerable enough, and he was having a go at them every day and just for his own fucking bullshit. So I started laughing at his stupid videos, and I do get a bit obsessed with people, and maybe I was a bit mean to him at times because I don't know, he might not be a bad person really, but anyway, yeah, I think I might have upset him a bit, but anyway, sorry, Samson.
And the last one, who'd win in a fight, Hasbulla or Captain Tom?
Is that a joke question? Hasbulla would snap his neck before he got around one lap of the garden. He's a vicious little psychopath, a miniature Stalin. Yeah, he's Yeah, he's brilliant. He's so evil. I don't think Captain Tom would stand a chance. Even in his like Burma years, he wouldn't stand a chance.
Great, amazing. And one more quick question before we dive into like the show properly. I've got here in quotation marks. Can you tell us a bit more about the banning and what went on? Because I remember when you follow meme accounts, like if they're not there all the time, you do sometimes forget, and then you came back and you're like, sorry, I've been shadow banned, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's going on? Someone's finally caught up with you. And did you ever get your interview with Rose West?
No, I'd love that. And like I said, someone else the other day, that was just the final straw, because it was on the cards for a long time. Like, I mean, years. I'd run that account for years, so they remember all the naughty stuff you've done, and they don't sort of wipe your litany of crimes after a while. They come back to haunt you. So, about 3 years ago, before Instagram was really, really strict with rules, I used to like, I'd get drunk and just like post a photo of an old man's dick for a laugh. Do you know what I mean? Or like something like that. And because it was funny. And then they'd say, no, deleting that's against the rules. And then they've tightened up their rules loads and loads and loads. So at the end of the day, I think they were just looking for a reason to ban me, or someone kept reporting me as well. But then all I did was say, does anybody know, or does anybody have a contact with Rose West? Because I want to interview her for my podcast. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a journalist, but I mean, I could be. And, if I'm running a podcast, if Piers Morgan went and did it, he'd get a BAFTA. It would be a groundbreaking interview if I could interview Rose West. Now, I wasn't fucking thinking that anyone knows Rose West. I was going to be able to get me out. It was a joke. Do you know what I mean? But Instagram doesn't understand jokes. And someone said that I was promoting hate by that request, which I don't understand. But like I said, I think they were just wanting a reason to delete my account, and I appealed loads to get it back, but it's not happening. So never mind.
Yeah, but again, it's almost like it is a bit lip service from Instagram, because if they really wanted to stop you on the platform forever, they probably could as well. So it's a weird hill to die on, a Rose West interview. I'm sure you've done or posted something far worse or weirder. Maybe they were just like, maybe they've got like a dartboard in their office being like, who are we going to ban today who's a bit edgy? And we'll just... I
think it's just like some sort of weird bot system or algorithm system now. I think when you do issue a request to review your suspension or whatever it's called, an actual human might look at it. But then I've heard from somebody who knows, I mean, this is a bit boring, I'm trying to be quick, cut this out if it's boring, but I heard from someone who works in social media that Instagram don't like meme accounts, and they don't really want them on there anymore, because they're all about gathering personal information, and someone like me doesn't share any personal information. I'm just trying to make people laugh, and all they want is influencers and people sharing where they're at, what venues they're going to, what they're eating, what their interests are, because they're just harvesting the information to sell it, and they're not interested in meme accounts because they'd make no money off me, so you can't sell something to someone who laughs at a dark joke, really. You can't really sell much to them. So, yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think they just don't care. And, I've had lots of sort of complaints about my new account, and I've really been trying to follow the rules. So they'll probably delete it again, or I don't know. But it's, at the end of the day, it's probably for the best. I should have thrown my phone in the sea and just get on with my life.
I mean, that's really interesting. I'll keep that in. That's a nice little...
I don't know if that's true. I heard that.
I'm all for peddling hearsay, so...
Damn right.
Let's talk a bit more about memes then.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, for me, they have almost become a news source for a lot of people. There's been multiple times in the past year where I've had news broken to me through memes and through your account as well, Prince Philip being a prime example. So why do you think they've captured the public's attention and imagination so much in the past 10 years? Because I remember when they first came along, I was like, the fuck is this? Like, I don't really get it. And then they wheedled their way into like the public consciousness so insidiously almost. And now I absolutely love them.
Well, I guess like a meme is like it's an instant joke, so you know you can just look at it and laugh and move on to the next one, and or nobody has the time for somebody to tell you a proper joke anymore, and we're all addicted to like pleasure, or like we're all looking for a tiny hit of dopamine, because you know that's what you get from Instagram. You just like a little moment of pleasure, next, and we're all looking for that because life's hell, and it's like, and we all have zero attention span. So I think it's like a natural format for us to fall into. You know, people struggle to read now. I do. You know, people struggle to focus on things, and a meme is such a quick, easy format to even get news, like you said, you know, like learn a fact, or see what some idiot's been up to, or just have a laugh. You know, it's instant gratification. I think that's probably why people like it, because everyone's just knackered and working hard, and you know, it's a quick way to sort of spend some time and have some fun. But I don't know. You probably have to ask you know, someone who understands brains. I don't. I'm just guessing here.
I also think there's something that when I was doing the notes for this show, I was like, there's been times before when memes have like expressed something I never thought anybody else did. Or, you know, there's so much shit now about like sleep paralysis demons, and I'm like, I have sleep paralysis demons. That is like me entirely. Like someone's like crystallized that little thing that I only thought I did really, really well, and that's like really, really funny. Well,
there's a nice thing with. Sorry, go on.
No, you go first. No, you're the guest.
I was just saying there's a really nice thing with social media, you know, and for all its evils, there's a really nice thing with sort of, you know, like you said, like you see people talking about that, making jokes about it, and you know, it's sort of form, especially on my page, I've noticed it forms like a little community of people who have similar sort of mindset or sense of humour, and it's nice, you know. I sometimes I'll make a post, and the best thing about the post are the comments, you know, because it's like people all join in and do make really funny comments, way funnier than the caption that I put on there, and it's sort of made like a little horrible community of hateful people. But it's like the good thing about social media is you see that, and you see like on Twitter how many just individuals around the world are very, very funny people, and they might just be like an accountant by day or whatever. They're not comedians, but they're just hilariously funny, and they're sharing similar experiences to you, so you can laugh at it, and that is nice and sort of comforting that you just know like, oh, you fit in the world, you know. And I get that is one thing I think that is nice, and like you said, you go, oh yeah, I'm normal, I am having sleep paralysis demons, you know, it's not insane, it's all right, and let's make a joke out of it. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, what's the other one? Wiping your hands after pissing in your urinal and you get some splashback. Now people are just think I've washed my hands. Like that was the first one that got me. I don't suppose you've ever done
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that one. I don't know. I was thinking about this before we had a chat, because I don't really know what a meme is. I thought like a meme had to be like one of those formats, you know, like that become popular, like the guy with his girlfriend who's looking at another girl, or you know. And I very rarely post that kind of thing. I just sort of post funny stuff I find on news, and then I just make some snarky comment about it. That's what I'm just. So I don't know. People always say I run a meme account, but I'm like, is that a meme? I don't even know if it is. I don't know what a meme is. I don't know why you've got me on here, to be honest.
Well, do you know what? You've absolutely teed me up for the next question.
Okay.
Which is, word for word, how do you define a meme? Maybe we should just stop here.
Me. I don't know. I don't know. I've got no idea what one is.
You know, we look back at sort of like the early 2010s, and you've got stuff like, you know, Philosophy Raptor and Determined Baby, if you remember them. Very like.
No, I don't know any of them, because I don't think I was doing that then. I don't know. No, maybe I was. No, I started posting things like funny shit around like 2014 or something. But I don't remember those things, because I never really engaged in those popular formats. You know, not really. Yeah,
I mean, they were quite basic by today's standards, and like simplistic in terms of like, it was like mainly a picture with a title at the top and a title at the bottom. But now I think what a meme is like expanded to basically anything that can convey an emotion or convey, I don't know, does it even have to be humour? I mean,
is it Richard Dawkins that came up with the term meme? I think it might have been.
Yeah, I think it was, and
I mean, he's got a lot to answer for anyway. But I bet he didn't expect this to happen. Just like this madness, absolute madness.
But I mean, it's I mean, like if you look at your own account, like what would you say, like what do you think the sort of like the common trend is amongst what you do? And do you think that trend's actually just, again, you said I don't run a meme account, I just run what I like. So I still think they are memes, and I still think most people say they're memes. But what do you see in your own posts, which sort of goes to you, that's funny, I'm going to post it?
I mean, yeah, they might be called memes for all I know. I don't really know what a meme is. Like I said, I thought it was those sort of standard format things, but maybe it's not. But the common thing, I mean, I just moan on there really. But I don't know. I find a lot of the things that go on in the world that are very popular, I find them quite ridiculous. Like I turn into a really grumpy old man, and my way of dealing with that, and you know, my sort of disconnect from what's going on is to just laugh at how ridiculous I think it is. And you know, slowly, like people are also thinking the same thing because they're on board with me, but slowly people will drop off, and I'll just be like an old man in my garden going, that's shit. You know?
Well, you probably get to that point where it's like our parents now who you know, people who are overwhelmingly, you know, I really don't want to start using stuff like millennials and boomers, but you know, Facebook was the sort of the platform of like last generation, you know, and now like Instagram is probably going to go that way, and it is just going to be full of middle-aged men, just like
that'd be me.
Like, really neat. And like all the kids are on TikTok, but TikTok will get superseded, and then I just think the way that these.
What's next?
What is next? OnlyFans.
We need one that. I mean,
maybe you should
set
up an OnlyFans to monetize that audience.
I mean, I could do my memes, I guess the memes on OnlyFans, but no one's going to pay £5 a month for them, and no one's going to pay £5 a month for me getting my tits out. So it's not. I don't think OnlyFans is the platform for me. I think we need a new platform which is sort of less limiting than. Obviously, it's a really hard thing to do because you can't say there's no rules, because then people will start spreading like hate, or you know, pedos will start using it or whatever. You can't. You know, there has to be some rules, but I think there should be room for humour, and I think that's where Instagram's gone wrong recently. Is that someone will report something that I say as being hateful when, if you're a human, you can clearly see it's a joke. Whilst for instance, I posted a video of Prince William and what's she called, Kate, doing. They were speaking in Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, and they were saying like "Happy St. Patrick's Day" to the people of Ireland, you know. And I saw the sort of hypocrisy in the royal family doing that because, you know, they're absolute colonial bastards, and the you know, the Brits have fucked Ireland over for centuries, and so it annoyed me, you know, that they're like, ooh, we're all like, we're your friends. So I posted it, and I put, this makes me want to join the IRA. Now that's clearly a joke. I wouldn't know how to join the IRA if I wanted to, and I'm not Irish, and you know. So anyway, somebody reported that, and then Instagram said I was promoting terrorist organizations, and it's like, I'm clearly not. I was making a joke out of that, and so there's no room for humor really on Instagram, or dark humor anymore, and that's sad because, you know, lots of people like that. So it would be good to have a platform where we can do things like that, but also be safe from knobheads. I don't know. Yeah, it's a very difficult. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think your only way forward there would be something like Discord. But then, is it still, if it's a private community where you know, not anyone can see it and engage with it, you can't gain new followers that way. Then does it have a life?
Yeah. I went onto Discord for I'm like part of this. Well, not part of it. I subscribed on Patreon to a podcast that I like, a comedy writer that I like, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this thing on Discord where we can all like go on and have a group and we can chat and stuff, all the patrons." And I was like, I didn't know what Discord was, so I downloaded it to have a look, and it was just fucking chaos. It was like, there's just so much. It's like, right, this room we're chatting about this room, and I was like, who's got time to do this? So yeah, I did not enjoy that experience, you know. But yeah, I'd like a sort of Instagram, a photo based social media app where you can be a bit more, maybe it's comedy based, and you can just be a bit more sort of fun with it. And you know, because they're tightening up all the time, Instagram, and it's just getting boring.
Maybe something like an Instagram later. Do you remember Hollyoaks later? It was on in like the early 2000s where they tried to be a bit edgy and did it late night.
Yeah,
Instagram.
Was that when they
work.
One of them showed us their tits and they started saying fuck? Yeah.
I mean, 13-year-old Liam was all over it. So
yeah, I remember it well. Yeah, it was great. Maybe we just need to. If I had any billionaire friends, I'd just launch a rival to Instagram, because all these big companies, none of them have a rival. They've got a monopoly, haven't they? There's no competition. So we need a rival. If any billionaires listen to this podcast, you know, give us a shout.
How soon until you get bought out for like a million? Because let's say you get a billionaire friend, we're going to make this social media platform to rival Instagram. Yeah. And then Instagram are like, all right, well, you've put in 50K, but we'll give you 50 million.
Yeah, I'd take it instantly and fuck everybody, yeah. See you guys. I'm off to the Maldives. No, I would take it and I would share it out between all my followers, apart from 10 million of it, which I would keep because I'd need to move to the Maldives and develop an enormous cocaine habit and get a speedboat and a gun and buy a Hasbulla.
Is he property, do you think?
I reckon he
has a
price.
handler, doesn't it? Like there's somebody with him at all times.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, and that would be me then. I'd buy that job. So yeah, I'd have him, a speedboat, a machine gun, like, you know, a mountain of cocaine, and yeah, you know, I'd blast through that 10 million as fast as I could. But the rest would go to all my loyal, beautiful followers. So let's make this happen. If anyone's listening,
do you know what? In several points in this podcast, you've teed me up to mention some friends who really wanted shout outs. They were like, "Please tell VomCruise that we really like him." But I'm not going to do that.
Is that?
So,
no, do it. Who is it?
It's what are the handles? Lidl. It's my friend Lydia, and she's like, they're really excited to listen to the show. So,
hi, Lydia,
and Lucy, and Gabby,
Lucy.
and Tom and Lewis. And they were like, "Can you give us a shout out?" And I was like, "It's not midday Radio 1. I'm not about to play Ed Sheeran, but do you know what? You've teed me up
Piccadilly
too much.
Key 103.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this one's to Kelsey doing a GCSEs in Pepperminster. Like.
Yeah. Well, you know, thank your friends for following my nonsense, and yeah, tell them, you know, if they can make the new app happen, then they'll get a cut.
Oh, amazing! So, a lot of social media platforms as well. I'm looking at like TikTok here, essentially, you know, are building their sort of platforms and their content delivery in such a way that I'd say it's almost impossible now for people not to create meme-like content. So do you think stuff like TikTok's method of content delivery will see us all becoming meme creators? Or do you think these platforms lack something fundamental that's necessary to make good content? You know, we've already spoken about like a meme could potentially be anything. So is anything on TikTok now a meme? It's a bit of a question that eats itself, but what do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I think some people don't engage with any of this shit. You know, the smart people, they're not on social media, and they just get on with their lives quietly, and they're probably much happier than us. But yeah, there's lots of us who are obviously addicted to it. And yeah, TikTok's obviously the most popular social media place. And you know what? I like video content, and you know, I like some of the comedy that comes out of TikTok. I've seen lots of stuff, and I just... you know, I'm being a miserable old man again, but all the fucking dancing, like, stop dancing. Like, unless you're a professional dancer, great. You know, I like watching some people dance because they're amazing at it. I don't need to see some fucking dickheads dancing, or like someone's mum and dad dancing every day. You just don't need it, you know. But yeah, I mean, look, they're entitled to do whatever they want with their lives. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm just sick of seeing it. It's like, I'm not arse, mate.
Yeah, again, like, we're chasing likes here as well, but it is slightly annoying when a lip syncing teenager just gets hundreds of thousands of likes. But then again, do I really care about that? I don't think I do. I shouldn't, should I? But there's a lot of irritable and hate that comes out the back of it as well, which is really sad for, like, certainly young people.
But the problem is as well that it affects, because we live in capitalist hell, everything that happens on there or wherever, YouTube, affects every other sort of stream of art. So, you know, like, you're a music podcast, like, every time, you know, there's someone on TikTok who gets millions of followers, they get like a record deal, and they're not a musician, and they'll release some music and it's bullshit, and it makes, you know, pop music. There's been periods where pop music was great and innovative and interesting and wonderful, and even that now is just all so bland. And I think, you know, it's sort of because, like, labels and people like that just want somebody with a ready-made fan base. They'll, like, sign anyone. So, you know, it's like it's just ruining lots of different things, you know. But I mean, they're all sort of dying anyway. But yeah, maybe you know, you said that, like, will all content creation go to sort of TikTok? Maybe, I mean, the Tories are doing some horrible things at the moment, but imagine, like, a world where they made TikTok mandatory, and we all had to dance for our crumbs of food. You know, they're doing worse things than that already. So maybe I saw a thing the other day that the Tories are saying that they're going to start monitoring certain people, definitely just poor people. They're monitoring them to see how much exercise they do and what food they eat, and if they do enough exercise, they'll get certain, like, credits to get cheaper food. It's fucked up. We live in, like, dystopian hell. There's
been a few things I've seen like that, and I'm like, well, that isn't real. What was the other one? 14 years in jail for journalists that embarrassed the government. But, you know, this is cases when you've got, like, people from the Ministry of Defence leaving sensitive documents in Kent, and then, you know, that's newsworthy, and that's, like, you know, the government needs to be held to account for being idiots. And then you're like, no, that's embarrassing. So it's a national secrets thing. So we'll arrest you and strangle the press.
But what about when Matt Hancock was caught, you know, like, groping his advisor or whatever it was the other week? You know, that was clearly embarrassing for him. You know, if you report on, but it's interesting to the public, because, you know, he's a health secretary, and he was ignoring social distancing rules, which they expect us to follow. Two, you know, it's always a scandal, someone shagging someone. You know, I don't really care, to be honest, but I don't care what anyone else does, but I was happy to see the back of him, and you know, the newspapers have always written about things like that. Will they get 14 years in jail for doing that? You know what I mean? Are you not allowed to say anything? Well, I'm going to carry on saying that Boris bums dogs on my Instagram. I don't care.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to say, like, all this dystopian hell does create good content for you, though, I suppose. What's been your highlight of the year so far, if you had to pick one? Content-wise, or just things that you've been able to sort of really dig into?
Let me have a think. Highlight of the year, content-wise. Prince Philip dying was pretty good. I mean, look, I don't make it, you know, I make it pretty obvious. I have a real dislike for the royal family. Just what they represent and what they do. As individuals, I don't know them, so I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? But they know what they're doing, and I don't like any of them. Harry can fuck off as well. They all monsters in my eyes. So, you know, I'd made that clear, and a lot of people, as soon as I was having a really busy day, I had, like, a lot to do, and when he died, I was like, this is really inconvenient for me, because loads of people were messaging me or texting me or saying, I'm waiting for the memes, I'm waiting for the jokes about Prince Philip, and I was like, I don't have time for him to die today. Do you know what I was like? but you know, it was there was a lot of people working on that. It came out thick and fast. There was a lot of laughs at it, and so that was good. Can't wait for the Queen to die now. So we got a lot of stuff ready.
That's going to be absolutely mental, isn't it? So do you tend to get most of your content through submissions and just things you see yourself? Because you said you had a lot of people. Do a lot of people message? Because I've messaged you once or twice, been look at this. But do you get quite a lot of people just like dropping you sort of?
Yeah, I get a lot of people messaging me memes and things that are funny, things that they think I will think are funny, which is very kind of them. But to be honest, I don't look in the inbox that often because it's just sort of chaotic, and it's just. I don't have time to look through it all, so and reply to everyone's message and stuff. But I do appreciate it. But I mainly see what's going on in the world, and I often see that my news source is Twitter. So I'll go on Twitter and see what's going on, and then anything that I think's funny or insane, I will I'll share and just write a silly caption to it. And that's kind of where things happen. And also I don't go on TikTok because I just don't have time or the inclination. But people often send me, they'll be like, have you seen this fucking monster on TikTok? And I'm like, oh God, okay, yeah. And then I can't help but, especially if they're a bit nasty, then I'm like, right, I'm going to bully them, fuck off, I'll just make fun of them. So yeah, that's what I do.
TikTok 2019, because I remember me and my friend, we worked together, and this is before it got taken over by lip syncing teens, and it was just a rogues gallery of the weirdest shit ever. And it was genuinely it was either people,
brilliant.
Yeah, it was either people dressed up in stilts fucking monsters, or just yeah. And I was like, this is the roguest thing I've ever seen.
I love that weird side of it. I really do. There's a lot of weirdos on there, and I love that. That's fun and funny and very human. These trends, it's literally about 80% pensioners or extremely vain teenagers dancing, and that's not interesting,
I suppose that brings me on really, really nicely to my next question as well. Where do you think social media and content like memes are heading? Are we looking at total societal collapse, World War III? Should we be worried?
Yes, we should be worried. The world is ending. The evidence is clear. Total societal environmental collapse is probably going to happen within the next 100 years. I'm no expert. I don't know anything, but everything is going to shit. You just look around you, and I don't know. In 100 years, but the only sign of human life left will be Bezos and Branson's reanimated corpses, noshing each other off on Mars. There's, I don't know. But memes, and funny things make our sort of slow march towards death a little less miserable, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think memes will not play a part in the end of the world. We're doing a good enough job of that with everything else.
Amazing. And before we go, can you tell us a bit about anything you're doing at the moment? I know you're on the second series of the It's Your Funeral podcast. I'm a regular listener. I think the concept's great. For listeners, like and subscribe, and we will put links to that podcast as well in the show notes. So what else have you got going on? Is there anywhere else we can find you, and where can we find you?
I'm not really doing much at the moment in terms of VomCruise. I am planning to do a new VomCruise podcast, which I've just sort of been throwing some ideas around in my head, and that will happen in the next few months. I've just been sort of busy with my real life, working and things like that. And but I am sort of planning to put that together, in the next few months. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm still doing It's Your Funeral. That's a podcast that my friend Barnaby came up with a concept for, which is it's sort of like a desert island disc, but a piss take about our guests' imagined funeral. So who can come to the funeral, where is it, what music's being played, what can you eat, all these things. But it becomes sort of more of a general topic on death, and I don't know why he thought of it, because he's got a smart brain like that, and he just asked me to sort of join in and talk shit, I think. So that's what I did. But it's been fun making it. We've had some really great guests, people like George Lamb, John Niven. We've had some really great guests, and been lucky in that respect. And yeah, we're going to do a few more. I think it might run its course soon, that format, because there's only so many times you can laugh at death. But yeah, I'm going to do something else. Don't know. I'll be around.
And we can find you at VomCruise2 on Instagram.
Yeah. For now, yeah, until that one gets banned.
I always thought Vom2s would have been good, but too late.
I thought that as well, but I thought it might just confuse people. I couldn't work out how to spell that. Where it still would sound like VomCruise.
I think it'd be T 3 O's and a W, but then you might look a bit disabled writing that.
Yeah, I already do look disabled, but yeah, I couldn't work out how to do that. So yeah, I just went for the simple option.
Amazing. But it was really, really lovely to chat to you today. It's been really nice to have you on the show, and I've had a really great time, and I hope you have too. So
I have, yeah. Thanks for having me, Liam. It's been really, it's been fun. Nice to chat with you.
Bye-bye.
All right, mate. Bye.